Thank you, David. Pass the witness.
David, do you recall the pretrial hearing?
Yes, ma'am.
Did you say at that earlier hearing that your mother's homosexuality was the reason you left home?
No, but it was irrelevant then.
At the pretrial hearing, did you testify that the car that your father bought for you after you left your mother's house was very important to you?
Well, it wasn't the most important thing in my life. I did want one.
David, can you honestly tell this jury that your father buying you a car had nothing whatsoever to do with your leaving home?
Yes, ma'am. I can say that.
Did you say at the earlier hearing that you loved your mother?
Yes, ma'am. I did.
Do you still love her? Are you angry at your mother, David?
No. I'm just ashamed of the way she is.
David? Pass the witness.
Yeah? Are you Merle Poindexter? Yeah. You have a daughter, Mr. Poindexter? Named Linda? I do. I speak to her, please? What about? About a man named Michael Gettner.
Dr. Berwick, during your interviews with Billy Gettner, was there anything in his behavior which concerned you?
There were areas, times, when I felt that Mrs. Gettner showed bad judgment in regard to Billy.
Can you be more specific?
Yes, on 2 occasions, Billy arrived in my office wearing clothing that I thought was very inappropriate. Once he was wearing a Levi outfit, jacket, slacks, that belonged to Mrs. Moreland's little girl, Susan. Another time, he was wearing a YWCA T-shirt.
Why are these things inappropriate, Doctor?
They indicate a lack of sexual role modeling that could be very harmful to Billy.
Would this be a problem if he were living with his father?
I think not. In a more traditional family, the mother and father there, this sort of thing recurring would be minimal.
Now, this role modeling, I think you called it, is that important?
Well, there are several theories about the causes of homosexuality. One of them addresses itself to the environment, the people that a child will try to emulate. That's all role modeling is. And in terms of sexual identity, many consider it to be crucial.
Do you, Dr. Berwick?
Yes, I do.
Have you been able to form an opinion as to who would be the most effective parent for Billy to live with?
Well, while I found that Linda Ray Gettner is a warm and loving parent, she cares about her son, and he has warm feelings for her. The fact that Mike Gettner has a history of emotional stability and is part of a traditional family unit, it is my conclusion that Mr. Gettner would offer the boy the best opportunity to develop into a normal young man.
Pass the witness.
Dr. Berwick, was the jeans outfit made of blue denim? The sort of thing worn by both boys and girls?
Yes, it was.
There was nothing bizarre in Billy's appearance that day, was there? He wasn't wearing high-heeled pumps and carrying a purse, was he?
He was not, of course. But I still consider the clothes to be inappropriate for a boy living in his circumstances.
Why?
Because what might be acceptable in a heterosexual family unit is not so when done in the context of a homosexual family unit. The second ought to be more circumspect, more restrained.
All right, then the YWCA T-shirt. Are you aware that Billy takes a class at the YWCA?
No.
Are you aware that the YWCA gives numerous classes for boys?
No, I'm not, but that wouldn't change my opinion one way or the other. When you have a sensitive issue here that Mrs. Gettner is aware of, and she's a bright, intelligent lady, in my opinion, she has a responsibility to meet that special need and not to advance this YWCA sort of experience.
Ask the witness.
Mr. Sidowitz, anything to add?
I have some questions, Your Honor. Doctor, have you ever heard of the Cut It Out School of Psychology?
I have not.
Well, that's when you say to a patient who's doing something wrong, cut it out. Now, did you ever say to Mrs. Gettner that such and such conduct, given your sexual preference, may be unwise, could be misunderstood? Therefore, cut it out.
No, I never said that to Mrs. Gettner.
Thank you, Doctor.
Barbara?
Where are they?
Done with Berwick, that oxtail. The lady, Dr. Tibbetts, she's up there now. Doing better than I expected.
No, not better than I did. Here, look at that. I'm going to invent a candy bar and name it Out of Order. Save a fortune on labeling.
You really think you can get any of this stuff in?
Or maybe. It depends on how holy Linda Ray's ex-husband tries to paint himself. See, the more moral and Christian he tries to appear, the better shot we'll have.
And were the court to award custody of Billy to his father, what do you think would be the effect on the boy?
Well, it would certainly say something to Billy about society's disapproval of his mother. That would have a great deal of negative effect on Billy.
And in general, you'd say Billy is happy?
Well-adjusted, normal.
Ask the witness.
Dr. Tippett, can you think of any problems little Billy might encounter due to the particular mode of his upbringing?
Objection, Your Honor, too speculative.
Your Honor, we have just listened for the last 10 minutes to the witness speculate what might befall Billy if we take him away. I see no difference.
I'll allow a hypothetical question.
All right, then. Let's assume that we have a hypothetical situation in which there is a little boy, about 9 years old, named Billy, who is being raised in a lesbian family unit in this county. Could that little Billy have some additional problems?
Yes, I guess he might.
Could you tell us what those problems might be?
If we, as a society, could accept the differences of other people, then I see no problem. If we make it difficult for people who are different from us, then I can see that society might also punish the child.
Ma'am, we're not litigating society, although sometimes it seems so. What we're litigating is the custody of this child. Now, what kind of problems are we talking about?
I think there will be people who will not like his mother, who will disagree with her lifestyle.
All right, now that's one problem. What else?
I'm at a loss.
That's the only problem you can think of? Some people are not going to like his mother?
This hypothetical child might run into all sorts of problems, or none.
Are you a married lady, Dr. Tippett?
Not at present.
Do you have any children?
One son, Jim,
How old is he?
24.
Does he have any children?
One boy.
And do you have any preference as a mother as to whether your son is a homosexual or not? Just answer yes or no.
I can't answer any yes or no.
It wouldn't matter to you if your son was a homosexual?